Hey everybody.
Hello, 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 hello.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Jyotsna.
And this is
Happenstance,
the podcast where we give our stance on what happens in a TV show or movie we haven't seen. And we're gathered here December 25th.
The last episode of the season.
We gave up Christmas with our families to record this. That's how serious and Scrooge-like we are.
We shaved our heads for this.
About this podcast. Yeah, if you tune into the video right now, you'll see that we're both doing our best to look bald.
Yeah. In honor of this topic and for you. We did this for you. So.
I also did it as a protest against how hot I am. With hair. I said, you know what? Mm-hmm. These people don't deserve that.
Actually, the government contacted me.
Oh, they
did?
Were
like, you're too hot. It's causing distraction.
So you actually shaved your hair in sort of the opposite of a protest.
Yeah, I was commanded
to by higher forces
right.
to shave your 2025. The vibe is bald. So, Jyotsna, how are you today?
I'm all right, but honestly, I'm, as usual, and this is true, being haunted in my dreams.
No.
By concepts that I'm still struggling to wrap my brain around.
Like what? Like,
well, I told you the other night I had a dream where I was watching HBO's Girls, but I've never seen Girls. So in my dream, I was like making a happenstance about what happens in Girls.
That's how hard you people are working, Jyotsna. You guys are making her have stress dreams about this.
Yeah, about
her podcast.
Yes. And watching TV, the most stressful activity.
I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. I'm so sorry.
What's going on with you?
I'm also being haunted in the night, actually.
Whoa.
I know. Crazy.
It's that season.
I know it's definitely that season to be winter.
Because the night is so long.
I know. There's so much time for stuff to happen.
I'm haunted in the night at like 4 p.m. now.
Yeah, me too, actually. But you know what I'm being haunted in the night by? Sugary cravings.
Oh,
I'm just popping out of bed at random times of night and saying, if I can't get my mouth around an Oreo, I'm going to kill somebody.
Right. Because sometimes when you're hungry, you have to commit a murder.
If you don't get what you want.
Yeah.
I also, like, this is sort of affecting my life also in not negative ways, but just ways. Mm-hmm. In that, I think this started around Thanksgiving, famously when it started to get dark at 4 p.m. Mm-hmm. And I was staying with my family. And on the first night of Thanksgiving with my family, I sleptwalked to the kitchen in the middle of the night and we were staying at an Airbnb, and the Airbnb hostess kindly left us a bag of white chocolate Reese's, the most delicious form of Reese's. And I sleptwalked to the soft pale flesh of these white Reese's in the night, and I hovered over them and I ate some, and then I took off my socks and left them on top of the snack box. So in the morning, my mom was in the kitchen, and she said, "Whose socks are on top of the Reese's?"
Is there like camera footage from the Airbnb of you doing this?
Sadly, no. I only know that I did it because of my socks.
You left a trail of evidence.
I did for myself in the morning.
You would be a terrible murderer.
I don't. If I did it in my sleep, that's fine. I'm not really trying to do it. I don't know why. As a child, I used to sleepwalk a lot, and I would constantly do this thing where I would wake up either in less clothes than I went to sleep in, or in like different clothes.
Huh.
Yeah. I was always switching it up fashion-wise in the night.
You were aesthetically inclined in your sleep.
The night, yeah.
Makes sense for you.
Thank you.
Damn. Sleepwalk cravings, that all like really reminds me of our topic for today.
You know, as does us being bald, actually.
Wow.
So today, we're talking about Nosferatu!
Happenstance.
Jyotsna, I feel like lately on the podcast, you've been actually the expert.
Yes.
On the topics we've been covering. And that was true for Wicked, and that's true for Nosferatu?
Yes, I have actually seen Nosferatu twice.
Can you say what year the original Nosferatu came out, if that's the one you're referring to?
1922.
Wow. You watched a movie from 1922 twice.
Well, here's how it Okay, I'm gonna say I was forced to watch. Well, not forced to. The first time was in college in like a cinema class.
Classic time to watch some movie from freaking
Right.
1922.
And I think actually the first time he only showed us clips, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, you just watch these clips. Don't bother."
You got the highlight reel.
Yeah, and
The top slays of Nosferatu.
And the second time I did watch the whole thing, it was actually it was with my ex. We went to go see Nosferatu with a pipe organ, a live organ, because it's a silent movie.
It's a silent movie.
It's a silent movie.
And you went to go see it with pipe organ accompaniment.
Yes.
Were you just bone dry during this experience? That sounds like a nightmare for me.
It was cool.
I would literally
interesting.
need to be handed like 3 fidget toys at the beginning of the screening to make it through that.
It was because the pipe organ guy was like on stage, so you could kind of like watch him.
What kind of vibes was the pipe organist bringing is what I want to know.
He passionate.
Yes. okay.
And kind of like fun. And it was around Halloween, obviously, because that's why they were doing this.
Okay.
And when like the curtains opened to reveal the pipe organ, there was also like one of those gigantic Home Depot skeletons. You know, the ones I'm talking about?
Did people stand and applaud?
Literally, it felt like it was like that was actually the highlight of my experience watching Nosferatu.
We love those things.
Was was seeing a giant skeleton and like just random shit behind the curtain. That was fun. The movie, boring.
Not so much. I have 2 things to say on that. A, I think the pipe organist should have been bald and had pointy ears for this performance. That's a note to him.
Yeah.
And then B, whenever my grandma was still in her emailing era, which she's fallen off of now, she used to send these like scammy chain emails that was a picture of a person standing next to a giant skeleton. And
what?
They would send these emails out to older Catholic ladies to say that the bodies of the Nephilim, aka God's angel army, have been discovered in the Middle East. So like donate now to the Pope or something. And it was a picture of a little guy by like a big ass skeleton. And obviously this was getting my grandma and all the Catholic grandmas hype. And I think we have that same feeling as if we're encountering sort of like an ancient grand being when we see the Home Depot giant skeleton.
So when you're seeing the giant skeleton, in a way you're picturing it pre-skeleton?
Yeah, I'm like, this is a fallen, powerful being in front of me. Like, it's like if I saw a woolly mammoth or something, except it's human, so then the mind
right. And
wonders.
That's what I guess, like, I mean, famously biblical angels not looking like humans at all.
And I feel like not having a skeleton.
What do you think?
No offense, Grandma.
Do they have like an exoskeleton? Are they like a beetle?
That would make more sense to me. I don't know. They famously got all them eyes.
That's so funny. That's the exact kind of shit my grandma's into, but with like Hinduism.
Hell yes.
Like she'll be like, they found a footprint on this island.
Whose footprint?
Like some like demigod or whatever.
Nice.
Or it's just a footprint. And she's like, well, this proves that the demigod was once here. And I'm like, well, it proves that someone with a foot was once here.
Does she love the Home Depot skeletons? Is that on her radar?
She probably would. Yeah, she would. She would. She loves drama.
And that's what the Home Depot skeleton is bringing to any event or porch is a little bit of drama.
That's what the pipe organ was bringing too.
I believe that.
I think my main takeaway from watching Nosferatu with the pipe organ is like, we need that more. Like, I feel
more
like
pipe organ.
I just think any theater experience, like Wicked. Imagine Wicked, but with a pipe organ.
I'm seated.
Less
I'm
boring.
Less boring. It is less boring. A pipe organ can be quite beautiful instrument.
Yeah. Dramatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it tells you when like something important is happening too. It's like, wait, pay attention to this part.
Because the pipe organ is getting amped. That makes sense.
If you're drifting off, and when it's boring, the pipe organ will be like, this part is boring. Like it'll tell you.
Go to the bathroom. The pipe organ is cluing you in.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
nice.
It was.
That makes it almost sound like a modern movie experience where you put it on and you have the subtitles on so you don't really have to listen to the dialogue and then you tune in when there's like a loud noise or something.
Well, my whole problem with silent movies is that, you know, like the interstitial like title cards that come in, they are usually so like they're giving nothing. It's like, why did you have this?
Do an example.
Like there'll be like a man and he'll be like, huh, and like, you know, just be startled by something, and then the title guard will be like, Hark.
Oh, that was worse. I was gonna pitch the man was scared, but that tells you more information than Hark.
And in like quotes, it'll be like Hark.
I don't think anyone even knows what that means anymore.
Right. So that's the level of what this is adding, basically.
Okay, and you went on a date to this.
I did go on a date to this.
How successful was the date overall, would you say?
I think just it was a good date overall, but
okay.
I was amused by the experience. I was amused by like being asked to go to this in the first place.
Totally. It makes it sound like you were dating a 1920s man.
Yeah, that was his vibe throughout.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was fun. I always like when you're on a date and like everybody else in the room is like 95 years old.
You would
funny.
like that.
It's funny. It's a fun experience.
I am picturing your date wearing like suspenders and a bow tie and like old timey high breeches.
I think he was wearing like a sweatshirt, which did make it worse. I'll admit it.
He should have been in the breeches.
He should have been in the breeches.
Famously, something I read in Cosmo in like 2009, me, a mere impressionable 14-year-old, 2009, is that you should, if you want to get it more, you got to lean into your type. So like whatever you think makes you weird, if you lean into that, the people who like your type will like you more than they would if you were playing to the center.
Yeah.
It's sort of a reverse running for office.
It's like populism, kind of.
Be crazier up front.
I mean,
and then you can normal up later after you've trapped them.
Well,
And I'm going to make it personal for you and say that the type of guy you like already looks like he could be like serving popcorn out of an old timey machine and wearing high breeches.
Right.
So instead of wearing like a Gap sweatshirt, let's see them breeches,
okay,
buddy.
but here's the thing. I think I like it when they don't know. Like, it's like when they don't know they're beautiful or whatever. I like them like when
they don't know they look like a 1920s old timey guy.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know you're like an old timey guy. Okay, I got
like
it.
The One Direction song.
Yes.
Yeah. No, exactly. Because when they're putting on a whole ass costume, like, you know that. Like, I'm not into that. Like, I'm like, sit down.
You don't want him to put on airs.
No.
Okay.
That's why I don't like the magician types.
I see, and maybe that's why I'm pitching the costumes, because I do.
Yeah.
That's what I was like, what is this pipe organist wearing? I love whatever some weird guy's wearing.
I will say this, for the pipe organ, he was like a little hotter than he needed to be.
Yes!
But like still like an older gentleman who plays the pipe organ, but he had a certain je ne sais quoi. But like in the same way as like an orchestra conductor, you know, like still a little like...
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up, an orchestra conductor?
Yeah.
Whoa. What's the thing where, like the New Girl thing where she moves her glasses in and out?
Awooga.
Awooga.
Yeah, that's nerd.
Except
awooga.
my ears. My ears are going awooga at the idea of an orchestra conductor. And all that being said, guess what? I don't know a damn thing about Nosferatu.
That's awesome.
But I watched Twilight again this week.
Nice. Wait.
So I'm ready.
Did you ever read Dracula or anything?
It's like no, but yes, yes, but no. Maybe
Right.
at some point in my education, but it went in one ear out the other. I'll be honest.
Like, I'm realizing I'm actually like maybe the premier Nosferatu expert in this neighborhood.
Wow.
Because I also did like my biggest like project as an English major, like on the book Dracula.
Oh my God.
I know.
You could have stopped at English major. And I would believe you. But an English major who's a Dracula expert?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you basically have a minor in this, is what I'm hearing.
I have a minor in Nosferatu studies.
Okay. Sounds like some shit someone would have a minor in.
Yeah. So what do you know about Nosferatu? What do you Knows-feratu?
What do I Nosferatu? Oh my God. Sometimes the ep description writes itself. Thank God. Coming up with those puns, that's what I have stress streams about. And they're bad. But my brain just doesn't think in puns because I'm like cool and have swag instead of being a pun type. So
I'm apparently not cool and have swag because all week a little voice has been whispering in my ear, Nosferatu, Nosferatu.
And that's why you like old timey guys. Puns and old timey guys go hand in hand.
I guess so.
And I support that for you, honestly. I wish sometimes I had a bigger pun brain section. Whatever that section of the brain is that does puns, mine's just not as, it's enfeebled. Probably because of my incredible knowledge of math and the human condition. So
right, yeah. If you replace the biochemistry section,
maybe then I could say a pun.
Section.
But sorry, I'm saving lives. So just so you guys know, my day job from this podcast is I'm a doctor.
Yeah. What kind of doctor?
Medical. Duh.
I could see you being like an ENT.
Ear, nose, and throat?
Yeah.
Look, if you need it, I'll take a look. Because as a doctor, I believe in my duty of care. I have been thinking about doing this thing. This is tangential. This is why these episodes are too long.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about doing this thing lately where I test out if I would like being a therapist by just offering that someone pays me $20 an hour and then I just listen to them talk for an hour and kind of guide the convo.
Okay.
But the boundaries are like, you can't be like about to kill yourself or anything. Like, and I'm not liable if you do. But like, if you need to work through some stuff on the phone, hit me up.
Is that an offer to our listeners?
Yeah, I'm advertising. Email us at happenstance at Joe and Sam. That's not even what it is.
Happenstance with Joe and Sam at gmail.com.
With Joe and Sam at gmail.com. If you would like to be one of my initial guinea
if
pig
you want
patients.
Sam to mentally fuck with you, potentially.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my best. But you have to promise not to kill yourself. And there will be a contract. And
okay.
Yeah. But, you know, all our listeners, no, don't kill yourself.
No,
You're
baby,
too
you're
sexy.
too sexy.
So
we know that just from you listening to us. We can tell that you're sexy.
You're sexy too.
Too.
Just like our
Just
bald
like
asses.
I was just thinking, this is the worst I've ever looked in my life, maybe.
You look unwell. I'll admit it.
Because I'm bald. Unfortunately, society has dictated that if you're bald, especially as a woman, you're literally dying.
Not in 2025.
Oh, right.
In 2025.
The year of bald.
You're just too hot. The
Right.
year of bald.
The year of bald, the government forced you to shave your head for being too hot.
Or you can protest the government.
By still shaving
Your
your
head.
head.
There's options.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know anything about Nosferatu except my comedic acting king, Nicholas Hoult, is in it. And as is my general acting queen, Lily Rose Depp.
Well, this cast is just really a who's who of weird white actors.
Is Willem Dafoe in it?
Yes.
Sign me up. Okay, wait, who else is a weird white actor?
Bill Skarsgård.
Weird white.
Wait, there's like one more. Hang on.
Okay, I can't wait.
Oh my god. Oh, Emma Corrin, who is
Oh, I know her.
Yeah.
Bald ass. What is she bald in? I only can picture her with no hair.
She was Princess Di in The Crown.
Okay.
She wasn't bald.
Well,
in
I guess if you have blonde short hair, that's
you're kind
close.
of bald.
That's kind
you
of close.
might as well be bald.
All right. So the weird white people are present.
They are.
And I'm just going to go ahead and happenstance up top and say, I'm thinking London, 1799.
Okay.
Does that feel right to you?
That feels like the beginning of Hamilton. London, 1799.
Hamilton starts in Europe.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
But that just felt like you should like start a rap with that. Like,
Okay.
You know what I mean?
London, 1799. The streets are made of cobblestone. Yeah, we're doing fine. Except, oh no, now it's nighttime and it's scary. There's a guy standing over me. Nosferatu. You're welcome.
That was a treat.
I also did that because I'm too hot and I think I need to mitigate it by a white woman rapping. That's the only way.
Like talk rapping.
That's the only way.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what I think. Is that true?
It actually, well, that's when the book Dracula is. The book Dracula is in like London, I think like 1810 or something.
Nice.
But the movie is in Germany. Because the director is German.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, but love it.
Yeah.
But now scared, are they going to do the thing where they're in Germany, but everyone just has an American accent and we pretend that's fine?
First, they're probably going to have a British accent. And they might move it back to London. I don't know.
I want Lily Rose Depp to be like Specken Sie Deutsch, you know?
Right. What was that thing? Remember in that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles episode when you kept saying automobiles?
Automobiles. Yes.
Yeah.
I want them to talk like that.
Right. Kind of, yeah.
Bill Skarsgård saying automobiles.
Yeah, they don't have them, but
That sounds maybe he should invent them in the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe Nosferatu should invent the German car.
Big bald head like that. There's got to be a brain in there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's an inventor if I've ever seen
If
one.
I've ever seen one. Because, like, what else is he doing? That was my struggle in thinking about this movie. So I'm like, if you're a weird guy like Nosferatu, what do you do all the time?
You know what's interesting? The book Dracula is actually about real estate.
That makes sense.
Dracula.
That is what he would do all the time.
Yes, he like buys up real estate, and then that ends up being the big problem because he buys up a lot of real estate in London, and now it's like he's an evil landlord. He's like Jared Kushner,
okay,
but also a freaking vampire, literally, instead of just figuratively.
Well, that's troublesome. I like the idea though of Nosferatu kind of being like a good salt of the earth. Like he's flipping houses. He's like on HGTV. He's like, tear down that wall.
Wait, it's flip or flop with Nosferatu?
Yeah. I would like to see him doing stuff like that. And they also didn't have television back then, but hey.
He's an inventor.
Automobiles and house flipping shows. What if they had them in Germany in 1810?
That would be really funny. That's like something that would happen in What We Do in the Shadows. Cause like
they could flip a house,
right?
Yeah.
He would just like be like, too many windows, and let's put a coffin in there, right?
Not an open floor plan. He would hate open floor plans.
Oh, for sure.
I famously kind of do too. Cause like a creepy guy, I'm like, I need some privacy. I need a door,
right,
between me and whatever else is happening. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you're doing something nefarious. You don't want everyone to see,
or you just don't even want anyone seeing your bald head from behind. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's fine to want some privacy.
Nosferatu would hate the panopticon. He would not do well in this.
No
surveillance.
He would be
state.
spending his money on getting his face fixed. Is what would be happening now, which is sad.
He would get his ears pinned.
Sad. Everyone, celebrate your natural beauty. 2025. Bald.
Bald is beautiful.
Bald is beautiful. 2025. If you shave your head based on listening to this podcast, send us a pic and we'll post it on the gram.
Right. That's all you get though.
Yeah, but if you just wanted to,
sure.
That's funny. Anyway, that's all I know about it. The fact it's in Germany is such a twist.
Yeah.
But not really for what I've been thinking about.
It doesn't really matter that it's in Germany,
Just
I'll be
some
honest.
old European place is all I needed. Is there anything else that's maybe unexpected up top you'd like to share with me?
Yeah, I was doing Wikipedia research on the original movie, and so when this movie came out, I guess Dracula wasn't in the public domain yet. So he like changed all these details.
This is the oldest thing in the world if Dracula wasn't in the public domain yet. I literally can't imagine a time for Dracula is not in the public domain. This
1922.
Is
so
crazy.
That's why he changed, like, it doesn't say Dracula. He changed it to Germany. He like gave Nosferatu a name. This Count Orlock.
This is some fan fiction shit.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he changed like a lot of the details of the story, but he still got his ass sued by the Stoker estate. And they ended up deleting every copy of this movie except like 2 survived, and that's why we have it to this day.
You can go see it on your weird date.
Yes.
Because of that American hero copyright violation fighter. What's his name? Who's the guy who made the movie?
Oh, the F.W. Murnau, but he was German, not an American hero.
Murnau. Totally, it's all there.
He was also gay.
Oh, love.
Well, okay. The other thing is this movie
gay copyrights violator. Being gay, doing crimes, 1922.
Yas King.
Yas King.
But okay, this movie was accused of being anti-Semitic.
What?
Because of just how Nosferatu like kind of looks.
Oh,
and
he does be looking anti-Semitic then.
And the fact that he was like a landlord. I see. There's like rats in this movie.
It was done by a German guy.
But then they were like, never mind. He probably didn't do it on purpose because he was gay. So gay people can't be
anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
2025.
This is in the Wikipedia article.
And it says gay people can't be anti-Semitic.
Yes, it does.
Nice.
It does say that.
Okay, you are such a Nosferatu studies major.
I know, as of this morning I am. But I just think that just made me really think about how gay people used to like make movies. Like I feel like all the classics of cinema just were gayer.
And did people know that people like the auteurs were gay and they were cool with it, or were they just like, you still have to be married to a woman but do your thing on screen?
I don't know how they know that this director is gay. Like I don't know if he
probably had letters.
Oh yeah,
back in the day,
gay letters.
That's how you know.
But they were just
the
close friendships.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I could go through someone's texting and I could make some guesses.
If you watch like silent movies,
yes,
they just have that certain
They're
gay
camp.
touch.
They have a je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, exactly.
They are like women with elaborate hair and elaborate dresses, like comically fainting and stuff like that, like,
and making like expressive faces.
Hark.
With like eyebrows up to their drag queen eyebrows.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And it just made me nostalgic for a better time. And now every movie's by a straight man.
And like you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell. Nasty.
They're flat, boring, no emotion.
Guys in them like aren't sexy enough to an audience who would like actually think dudes are sexy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like whenever, one of the worst things in the world, we talked about this. Wow, we're really throwing back in this episode. We talked about this in whatever episode we revealed that Denver's actually Menver, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Where in Denver, men are dressing for each other.
Yes.
And that's like the worst thing that could happen. When guys are trying to be hot for other straight guys. Disgusting.
This is also like what we talked about with how somebody said Magic Mike is like good because it's
about bureaucracy.
Yeah.
You're saying that's what's hot for straight guys?
That's what's hot for straight guys.
Bureaucracy, show muscles.
Right. Over explaining things and not just having vibes.
Being hairless, weirdly.
Yeah.
Guys lately are falling to the plight of needing to be bald as well. They're guys are being like, oh my god, my arm hair. Oh my god, my chest hair.
Wow,
yeah.
Big Nair got us all in the end.
I know. Yeah, it's the end. We said it.
It's the end.
It's the freaking end. So.
Well, because we're bald.
What else are we going to do? Talk about freaking Nosferatu, I guess.
I just want to shout out the trailer real quick because
Okay.
I rewatched the trailer too. And it's good. It's a good trailer. You don't see Nosferatu in it like at all.
I do have one qualm since you brought up the Hark of it all, the title cards of it all. Is this like a chapter movie? Did they say that in the trailer? Because that's what I'm kind of remembering, and I'm worried that's
I don't know
real.
if they said that in the trailer. Do you hate chapter
I
movies?
hate when movies are like, oh, we have chapters.
Right.
This is a movie, not a book.
This like is a recent trend too.
People are loving chapters. No.
I hate it because like I hate being reminded about how long a movie is.
Well, the point of a chapter, to be an English major myself for a second,
is to stop.
Is so you can put the book down and come back. This, like, the novel was literally only invented because they came up with chapters first. They were like, well, no one's going to read this shit unless there's breaks written.
And they used to freaking release them like a TV show.
Chapter by chapter.
Yeah.
And when a movie in the theaters has chapters.
And it's 3 hours long.
They're not pausing it between the chapters and being like, go have fun for a second.
No.
They're like, okay, another segment of this long ass movie.
Right. The worst part is I've been in a movie and felt like it was winding down, and then it was like part 2, and then you're like, shit. Now we're gonna have to ramp all the way back up again. Yeah.
It needs to be like the final chapter,
or just the end.
I do think I'm gonna make a pitch. I'm gonna try to modernize this to be actually helpful. What if whenever you see a movie in theaters, sometimes, if we're gonna do these fucking 3-hour long behemoths, let's make a little pop-up box happen 30 minutes in. That's like 30 minutes. You did it. How much time left? Hour 45. Oh yeah. And then another one that's like, where you made it to half.
Okay.
And then one that's like last 20 minutes.
You can do this.
Yes, and I need that.
That's kind of like when you're watching a movie on a plane and it tells you if you can finish it before you land.
Yes. On the planes.
They know what's up.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're really disrespecting film on planes because of the thing where anytime the flight attendant talks, it pauses your movie. Yeah. I hate that. That's sucks. Terrible for me. And sometimes you get on a plane, sometimes a movie you've been waiting to see has come out. You got a 4-hour plane ride. You're like, let's go. Yeah. This has to be enough time to finish this 3-hour long ass movie. And then you get a chatty flight attendant
Yeah.
it's over for you.
And like the safety video,
Yes.
and like suddenly there's turbulence, and then please fasten your seatbelt.
Well, have you ever been on a plane where literally someone, like a flight attendant's like, and on this plane, we have 3 people who are going to Hawaii. Let's hear it for that.
I haven't. That sounds like some Southwest shit.
Maybe. Or maybe it is a thing of like, maybe it's the South in general. Because I feel like every time I've had it happen, it's actually been like a Southern gay flight attendant. And they're holding space on that plane mic. They're hosting the flight.
Maybe gay people
Truly
should
hosting.
make movies and not be flight attendants.
On a flight. Yeah. Or host television.
Yeah.
More gay people in media.
You know what? I think I would like all of that if like you're on one of those flights that doesn't have TVs, and
if there's nothing else
Yeah.
to entertain you, I'm like, let's have a talent show hosted up.
right,
Sure.
juggle in the aisles.
I would love to see a talent show on the plane if they didn't have the TVs built in.
And if they knew people's talents before, and they could be like, everyone give it up for 32A.
That would be fun. But it's not fun when there are no talents on display.
Right, and you're trying to watch Interstellar for the 4th time.
And you're like, I need this. Yeah. So anyway, just some thoughts for the airline industry and gay people and the media industry, I guess.
wow, that's covering a lot of people.
Now that we're bald, we're also really having ideas, I think.
Right, like Joe Rogan himself.
Oh, I was thinking like Nosferatu, but maybe that's the same type of guy. Maybe in modern times, Joe Rogan's who haunts you in your sleep.
Okay, so my sister and I once made a classification system for men.
Okay.
That was like Venn diagrams, and the 4 categories were boring, dumb, bald, and gay.
Okay, and the positive ones are bald and gay.
No,
And boring and dumb or negative.
I don't think there's like a real negative, because you can be boring as in like you have your shit together and like are just like on a stable path.
Okay.
Like I think like Anderson Cooper is boring and gay.
Okay, and love him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like the titles of each quadrant are kind of skewing negative.
Yeah.
Not to be harmful to you and your sister, but someone has to speak up for our male fans. You know?
Right.
Someone has to speak up for the manosphere that we're a strong part of.
Sure.
But okay, so boring is like responsible.
Sure.
Gay
And
is still gay. Yes.
Gay is gay. Gay is gay.
Bald, empowered, hot, etc. As we've already discussed.
Yeah.
What was the 4th one?
Dumb.
Dumb. Okay.
But that one can be like fine too. Like some of our favorite people are a little
Right.
dumb, you know?
Oh, yeah, I love a dummy. But I guess maybe then the chart also infers that the closer you are to bald, that's smart. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Based on what we've also kicked over in this
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. And
It
you
is
would say Joe
interesting.
Rogan is
Dumb
in bald.
and bald. Not boring, not gay.
No. No, sadly he's not. He should be more boring and more gay.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
okay.
And I don't know.
Nosferatu, bald and gay.
Bald, gay, not boring.
Not boring.
I hope not dumb. That's the thing.
He could be.
He very well
totally could be.
Yeah.
But he's bald, so maybe not. Fingers crossed. Joe Rogan still has hair around the sides, and I think that's the problem. It's like a koozie
If he
for
went
the
all the
brain,
way,
keeping
okay.
it warm. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No.
overheating. He can't think. Dumb.
That's
I
why we
know.
shaved our heads, actually, so we can be smarter.
Yeah, so the brain can aerate. All this past year on the podcast, our brains have been like when your laptop overheats and there's just a noise
Yeah.
coming out of it. And then since we shaved it, I haven't heard a sound.
Also, they've been sleepy. Like when it's too warm and then you can't do anything except sleep.
Terrible situation. Winter. Nosferatu. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right.
What you got?
Since Jetsna is a Nosferatu studies minor and I majored in swag and having fun, I'm going to do a guess for Nosferatu today. And this is, would you call it an IKUDK or it's like a little bit
Ish, but I'm gonna also like kind of guess what's gonna happen in the new one.
right?
Because I think they're gonna change
as a
some things.
Nosferatu studies minor, you're really qualified to guess how they would modernize this for us, the modern audience. So I'm excited for that. That's how they act on the Today Show. Can't wait. For that.
We can't both be bald on the Today Show. One of us would have to have hair.
I'll wear a wig some days. We can switch off wearing a wig.
Wait,
It can be the same wig. And they can know we're switching it.
Oh my god, then we could basically be like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande.
Are they sharing a wig?
Cynthia's always bald and then Ariana has hair. You know? And they're holding each other's nails.
They need to be trading that.
They need to be
trading the
that.
wig and we would be shook.
Yeah.
You're right. Good pitch. We're full of them this morning now
'Cause
that
we're
we're
bald.
bald. Love it.
The brainwaves are just like the satellites are getting us though.
I feel almost like Mojo Jojo, like there's just a clear dome around my pulsating brain and I'm freaking on one. So before I get into the happenstance, know that. Watch
Right.
out. Watch out, Townsville. Okay. So lately I am obsessed with a movie just being a Parent Trap.
Oh yeah.
I pitched this for Wicked, and
Mhm.
guess what? I'm pitching it again
Great.
for Nosferatu.
How does that even? You know what? I'll hear you out.
Yeah, open your ears, Baldy. Pay
I don't
attention.
have ears. Look at me. I have no ears.
Bald and earless. All thoughts, no listening. Like Joe Rogan. So I didn't know that Bill Skarsgård was in this movie. I only knew Lily Rose Depp was in this movie.
Okay.
And to speak on Lily Rose Depp, beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm.
But she also kind of looks like that. And by that I mean like Nosferatu.
Whoa.
She has a thin, highly cheekbone, big eye face.
Wait, can I throw another curveball at you?
Yeah.
Not a real curveball, but originally when they were trying to make this movie, Anya Taylor-Joy was attached.
Okay.
And then they replaced her with Lily Rose Depp.
I think Lily Rose is a better pick because Anya feels like a little stiff to me.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Lily Rose
Full
had
of
the
life.
Song of the Year Freak from HBO Max's The Idol.
Yeah.
And I think to be in a sexy vampire movie, I'm guessing it's sexy, who knows. And to play Nosferatu, you should be able to sing the song Freak.
Right.
From
And you should
HBO
be
Max's
sexy.
The Idol.
which
Yeah,
I
and a
don't,
little nasty.
right. I don't think Anya Taylor-Joy is sexy to
No,
me.
no, not like Lily Rose D.
No.
Love her. Throughout The Idol, I was like, this girl is looking like if a snake was hot. And I was like, awesome.
Whoa,
Even without
just like
being bald, she was
Nosferatu.
kind of giving bald.
Okay.
And I saw that and I respected that.
She was basically Voldemort.
She kind of looks like if Voldemort was a hot teen girl.
Isn't that what the new play is? The Cursed Child? Isn't it about?
Voldemort's a hot teen girl in that?
Yeah.
Stop. What?
It's about his daughter.
Voldemort has a daughter.
We should do a happenstance
We
about
can't
this.
talk about this. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm sick of talking about J.K. Rowling intellectual property. Fuck. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
But she does look like Lily Rose Depp giving Voldemort's daughter. So naturally I thought, who should play the main babe in this movie? And Nosferatu?
Mm-hmm.
Lily Rose Depp.
LRD.
LRD. Lard. My girl Lard.
I like that you went Lard and not Lord.
No, it's Lard. And it's funny because she is the skinniest girl in the world. Sorry, Cynthia and Ariana. And for her initials to be Lard, that's funny.
It's funny.
That's funny. If she was my friend, I'd be like, what's up, Lard? And she'd be like, and I would love that.
okay.
So anyway, my pitch is that Lily Rose is playing both the girl in the movie and Nosferatu. And
Okay.
she's doing it well.
Wow.
She's doing it really well.
That would be really unexpected.
It would be good.
That would be an Oscar turn.
I think so. Hint. And this is something that we saw recently to good ends in the X movies with Mia Goth.
Mhm.
In the first one, she plays the main babe and the terrifying old lady who's murdering all the porn stars. And it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes you to like halfway through the movie. Even me, facial recognition AI herself, it took me halfway through the movie X to be like, the old lady's also Mia Goth. And I was
Okay.
delighted. I don't think Lily Rose could get away with that
Right.
because she just looks too much like Lily Rose. But
Well, maybe they don't really show
fun.
Nosferatu's face for a while.
wait, yes. Like they did in Long Legs. I would literally be gagged if halfway through the movie we finally see Nosferatu and it's Lily Rose Depp with those ears. I would be gagged. If only is a gay guy in
person?
charge of this?
No.
What the hell?
Nope. Although he did make The Lighthouse, which is a gay movie if I've ever seen one.
No, but like I think that movie's about what straight men think
Think.
is being hot for other straight men. Vibes.
I think sometimes straight men are hot for each other, and that is how they feel and act.
in a real bisexual way though, or like in the way where like Marvel movies are supposed to be about men being hot.
No, I think it's like when I think everyone's like, what if I did have to jerk off my bro? And then they wrote
And
it.
Loki liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy's at least tapping into something in the queer space.
And I watched that movie on a date too. Very weird experience to watch that movie on a date.
I think I actually watched that movie last Christmas while I was on the rowing machine at my parents' house.
Okay. That's really weird. Were you on the rowing machine for 2.5 hours?
I was intermittently.
Okay.
Because, hey, you know what? I love to watch movies at home because you can be on the rowing machine. That's basically the biggest fidget toy there is.
You can pause.
You can pause and walk away. So I was doing that. Like, I was taking my time. I made chapters out of the film, you know?
Nice.
Fun stuff. I watched it in my parents' basement. Yeah.
Long legs.
That was where he was putting in the work. Me too. That's where I'm putting in the work on the holidays is my parents' basement. Anyway, so Lily Rose Depp is playing them both, which does open the door for there to be a pun that is Nosferatu, as in TWO. I'll point it out, but if they wanted to save that for the second movie, you know I love a sequel with a two pun. So that's one of the only puns that weak part of my brain can access is when you put two in a movie name.
I don't want to accuse you of anything, but anytime you do think of a pun, you do base your whole thing.
Because I'm so excited that normally I'm working through like theories of relativity and shit. And then whenever I think of a simple man's pun, I really love that. I feel like a regular person instead of a hot bald genius. So anyway,
you're a mega mind.
Thank you.
Hot bald
That's
genius.
what being bald will do for you. Thank you. So I think Nosferatu runs around Germany at night, breaking into people's houses and being like, "Who am I gonna eat next? Who am I gonna bloodsuck next?" And I think Nosferatu is also, they've had centuries to hoard wealth. The Nosferatu is a they, them in this. They've had centuries, maybe she, they. They've had centuries to hoard wealth. And so they're picking houses that could also be a good real estate perspective.
Okay, like, they know what they're doing.
They're like, I could go eat this person. And then if I like the place,
I can acquire
buy it and keep all their furniture.
Like making your own open house.
Yes. Nosferatu is making their own open house.
That's very girl boss coded.
And awesome of them. So that's what Nosferatu's doing, which leads us to the home of Lily Rose Depp and Nicholas Hoult. They're in a classic old-timey marriage, aka she's like 17 and he's like 34.
Okay.
And she is bored. He has family money. That's why Nosferatu's interested in their like townhouse or whatever. But she's in there all day just feeling like a caged bird, and she doesn't know why that thing sings. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I gotta get out of here. She just brushes her hair while he goes to like, what even is a job a guy can have back then?
Gentleman's club.
Okay, so he goes to work at the Gentleman's
just
Club.
smoke cigars there.
And do business dealings.
Yeah.
Sure, that happens in Bridgerton. So he's doing some shit like that, and she's annoyed at the house, bored and brushing her hair. So then one night, we see Nosferatu break in a couple wealthy houses and then acquire them and ball out at the beginning of the movie. Maybe to the sort of classic 2013 movie song, Kanye West's Power.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're like, wow.
Wait, so you want to like put some modern elements into
this?
Okay.
I think it should be like the weird Great Gatsby movie that I think includes Kanye West's Power and several Lana Del Rey hits.
Wait, can I just throw out there
Baz Luhrmann,
bald genius guy who loves real estate? That's basically the Oppenheimer
twins. And I think Lily Rose Depp could play both of them. That's a good pitch too, though, is that actually you think it's one guy doing a parent trap in this movie, but it's actually the Oppenheimer twins each take a role. And then you're just confused.
There's two Nosferatus.
Yes.
They're twins.
Okay.
Nosferatu.
That's the sequel. The sequel is the Oppenheimer twins and Chriselle star in this. And that's my dream. But for this one, eventually Nosferatu, also played by Lily Rose Depp, breaks into Lily Rose Depp with Hair's home while she's sleeping. Her husband is not in bed with her. He's out having sex with prostitutes. Because in one thing that's happening in like the 1800s, dudes are having sex with prostitutes.
Yeah.
So.
And everyone was cool with that, actually.
And good for, if the prostitutes were having a fine time, good for that.
Maybe they were.
I hope so. So he's out doing that. She's like lying in bed. And I think in this movie, she lies in bed a lot and wears a kind of sheer white nightgown and like writhes around.
Just like me. That's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
All day.
What did you say you do? You're being haunted. Oh, while you have dreams about watching HBO's Girls, you're writhing around and being like,
That's also what I think happens in HBO's Girls.
that's me eating a Reese's in the night. It's me being like,
and
it
then
has to be-
sexually peeling off one sock at a time.
yeah. It's really just being hot for yourself kind of stuff. So I think she's like doing that and writhing around and having weird dreams, angsty dreams. And then one night she's doing this and Nosferatu is like over her. And she's like, is this real? Because they both obviously do the thing that happens in like The Princess Switch where they see each other and they're like, you look just like me. And I imagine this happening while Lily Rose Depp's lying in bed and Nosferatu's like hovering above her like creepily. And their eyes pop open and they're like, wait. But for a while Lily's like, is this real or is this a dream? And as this is happening, her husband's just getting more annoying by the day. She's getting more bored. Until one night she makes a plan. She keeps seeing Nosferatu be creepy in the corner in her room,
and she's
Edward
cool
Cullen
with
style.
it.
Well, because she's like, maybe there's something here. She's a girl boss too.
Okay.
She's like, maybe I can work with this.
Maybe I can work with this.
And
That's so
Nosferatu's
funny.
in the corner also looking at her and he's not eating her. Sorry, she's not eating her because they're like, maybe there's something else here.
Okay, this reminds me of this story that this crazy guy I went on a date with told me about how his ex-girlfriend had like a scary tall ghost who lived in her closet, and like she was chill with it because she was like, oh yeah, he's just there. Like, do you know in like The Haunting of Hill House, like the tall one?
I know exactly what you're talking about. A sort of Slender Man figure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he says he's seen it too. And it had like long hair and like yellow eyes, and it would just like be in her closet, and sometimes it would just like come out of her closet.
But it's chilling.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
And he saw it also.
He did.
Are we sure that's not just like a weird sex or like rent thing where someone freaky lives in her closet?
If that is what happened,
slay girl.
They were all cool with it.
Girl boss slay.
Everyone who was part of this, including him, were cool with it.
Well, I'm happy to them and their family. That sounds like a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, but that's Lily Rose Depp and Nosferatu.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes there's a creepy guy who watches you sleep and you're cool with it.
You're cool with that. They are. Because they're like, we could both get something we want out of this situation.
Right.
So basically, Nosferatu, Lily Rose, has been observing the house, walks around, sees Lily Rose, they look the same. At one point sees the husband and is like, I'm biting my lip. I'm making the fuckboy face. And Nosferatu's like, what if I smashed? And
wait, they're gonna tag team her husband?
No, you wish this was that scenario from your from the guy you dated's closet or whatever. No, they're gonna do a princess switch where in the one night, Lily Rose Depp is gonna be like ready to capture Nosferatu in some capacity. Like she's been working during her womanly time on making a net that she can rig in the corner of her room.
Why? Just to like get to know him better?
No, because she has a proposition in for them.
Okay.
So one day, Lily Rose Depp, she's lying around in bed, but she's made a net in the corner of her room. Nosferatu always comes in the same window and stands where the net is. And then while she's writhing around, she like pulls the cord and catches Nosferatu in the net. And Nosferatu's like, but then Lily Rose Depp's like, hey. That's how they talk to each other, is they're both like, hey.
Okay.
And kind of cool and smug and like awesome.
Right. Because they get each other.
They get each other. So they say hey to each other. They realize they get each other. Lily Rose Depp's like kind of like, so what's your deal? They have that moment in the Real Parent Trap movie where they learn about each other's history when they're sent to the bad girls cabin together. They show each other pictures of their family. They walk through what it's like to live their life.
Right.
And then Lily Rose Depp is like, okay, so now that we know all this about each other, what if we switch?
Right.
And Nosferatu's like, girl, I thought you would never ask.
Yeah.
And they're both dying to do this switch.
Of course.
Because Lily Rose Depp can go have some alone time and Nosferatu's like moldy castle, which is all she wants, like to be her own master, kind of.
Right. And he's like a business owner.
Yeah, and she'd be good at that.
Yeah.
And then Nosferatu wants a freaking break from all this and just to kind of like girl out for a second and have a husband and brush her hair. You know what? Nosferatu like wants hair is sort of what's happening.
Okay, so I was gonna ask about the hair situation. Is this like a wig thing?
I actually thought about this. Lily Rose Depp has like one friend in town, and it's like her seamstress or something. And one thing she does so that the movie's awesome for girls, and this is if the movie did have a gay man's touch, is she goes to her seamstress and complains about her boring life while she gets awesome dresses made for herself. And then there can be another character in the movie too, like, you know,
this is giving
casting.
Bridgerton.
Yeah. So she's there, and so what she does is she actually shaves her head. And then like in the Parent Trap haircut, and then she brings it to the seamstress, and it's like they're both like, "Girl, will you help us out with this? We need my hair to be a wig for this Nosferatu who also looks like me."
Yeah.
And so they just do that, and then Lily Rose absconds to the Nosferatu castle, where she lets her hair kind of grow out over time, so that it looks like when you cut the hair off a Barbie doll.
Okay.
And it's like bald but gappy and spiky throughout the movie.
Slay.
And then Nosferatu just wears Lily Rose Depp's hair as a wig, thus looking just like regular ass Lily Rose Depp.
Oh my god.
So
this is kind of like a Mrs. Doubtfire type thing too.
But with a switch. It's if Robin Williams in that movie had a real nanny that he trusted and kind of looked like, and was like, girl, let me get back in with my family by pretending to be you. And then that lady was like, okay, which is crazy. So Lily Rose goes to the castle. She's having fun. She's running businesses. She's like riding a horse. And Nosferatu, it becomes a comedy at this point, is doing like regular society lady things, but being like, and kind of nastier than everyone else.
But then slaying.
Yes.
Socially.
That's the joke, is that Lily Rose thinks she'll get to be free, and Nosferatu might even get like murdered by the townsfolk. Because she's like, we look alike, but I'm clearly the hotter twin. Well, yeah, because she's a businesswoman. She's out for herself. But she's kind of like, girl, what happens to you? Whatever. But she doesn't. Basically, she thinks she's so secure in being the hotter twin.
Yeah.
That she's like, people maybe won't even believe that Nosferatu's me, but like, I don't care. She comes because she gets bored in the castle to check in, and Nosferatu is slaying. Nosferatu is more popular than she's ever been. She's more fulfilled. She's at the top of society now.
And now Lily Rose is
hot.
A patchy-haired outcast.
Yes, who's actually bored at the castle. And so she's like, Nosferatu, I want to switch back.
Well, because you have to make your own fun. At the end of the day, whether you're trapped...
where you are.
Yeah, if you're trapped in a townhouse, if you're trapped in a castle, it's still on you to entertain yourself and be fulfilled.
Exactly. And Nosferatu, before finding Lily Rose Depp, already was doing that.
Yeah.
Through this whole like murder in the night real estate scheme.
That's a hobby.
Lily Rose isn't a vampire. So she doesn't have any like needs like that. Like, you know, she's eating scones in the castle. It's like boring.
Right. That's literally the same boring shit.
That's what she learns. Maybe she says that in the mirror while she's trying to brush her new barely there hair. It's the same boring shit. And she freaks out. And she goes back to town and asks Nosferatu to trade back. And Nosferatu's like, I'm not trading back. And Lily Rose Depp is like, you better fucking trade back.
Wait, is Nosferatu still killing people?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Cool.
They're handling it. Nosferatu's slaying. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
And they're killing people, and I'm sure there's a plot that's about that. But it's not what I care about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure part of the movie is like, oh, there's murders happening in the neighborhood now. Who could be doing this? Maybe Nosferatu's like, I'm gonna say it was you, you nasty little bald girl.
Oh,
and Lily Rose is like, don't do that. And so Lily Rose flees again, and now there's wanted posters up everywhere for this bald little waif.
Wait, this kind of feels like The Substance too, low-key.
Sure, it'll say that in the reviews. People in the reviews will say that. So that's happening, and now Lily Rose has to go back to Dracula's castle because she's like, fuck. And she goes back to the castle and makes a plan to kill Lily Rose, like to kill Nosferatu wearing her hair. She makes a plan to do this. So she does the thing where this is where it's like last 20 minutes of the movie pop-up happens.
Okay.
And then she appears in the corner of the bedroom where Nosferatu is actually sleeping in the loving arms of her husband. Something that never happened whenever Lily Rose was holding down the fort.
And he's like,
and she's going over there to stake her in the heart. And guess what? Nosferatu's pregnant. Nosferatu has a Renesmee cooking in there from Lily Rose's husband.
Oh my god.
And she's like, fuck. And then I don't know if I'm like happy with this ending, because I was like, the baby's a twist, you know?
That is a twist.
And it's like, does she care about that? What's the vibe? But what I decided happens is that she kills Nosferatu and maybe they're an Esme baby. And the husband wakes up and is obviously like, ah! Nicholas Hoult can do some good comedic acting. And she kills Nosferatu, and then she looks in her husband's eyes and is like, it's me. That wasn't me. I'm back. And he doesn't believe her. And so then, because he never really knew her, she kills him as well, and then takes Nosferatu's dead body to bite herself. Like, she takes the head and uses the fangs to bite herself, and then drinks some of Nosferatu's blood to become a vampire. And is like, fuck it, I'm gonna do the real estate scheme.
And then she just fully becomes Nosferatu.
And a property acquisition specialist.
And it all works out.
At the end.
Well, that sounds actually low-key great for
Thank
her.
you. I think it would be a good movie.
Yeah. Someone write that.
I did. Shut up. It's me. I'll write it. But yeah, so that's my pitch for Nosferatu 2024.
Wow. I think we should also see Nosferatu and the husband slowly falling in love, and it's like real and genuine.
And sexy even. Like, you're like gasping like in Bridgerton whenever they're like making eye contact. You're like, this is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, everything Nosferatu does, they look disgusting, but the vibes are incredible.
Electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hot.
Good stuff.
Yeah, like The Substance, hot. What's the kind of stuff? Guys can like it because it's about real estate still. There can be several boring contract scenes about like signing stuff. Whatever. But yeah.
If Nosferatu were written by a gay or woman, this is what it would be. I
would like to have written it, me, a woman, and then I would hire a gay male director would be my ideal situation.
Cool.
Thank you.
And I think I like Lily Rose Depp in the role, but I think there's also a version where the whole thing is just played by drag queens. Nosferatu's a drag queen.
I think that could be good too. Well, I think Lily Rose Depp should play the movie, and then next year on RuPaul's Drag Race, whenever they do the movie parody challenge, it'll just be Nosferatu. Yeah. With the number 2. Blah, blah, blah.
No,
and maybe in the regular movie, like, RuPaul can play the seamstress or something.
That would be
but like in a really serious way. Like, RuPaul can get a supporting actress nom for how she plays the seamstress who makes the wig.
Right. Who's in drag, but
yes.
Serious.
Yes. So, and the tone is all over the place. That's on purpose.
But it's scary at the beginning, like for real.
It's scary. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're gonna jump out of your seat. You're
gonna be grossed out.
You're gonna come. And that's Sam Gibson's Nosferatu.
You should have like the 20 minutes left type pop-ups. The one that's like you're gonna come in the next scene.
Or what if it just tells you when? Like there can be one that's earlier. That's like be scared, cry.
Okay, and then
come.
Start jacking off.
Sure.
Now come.
If that's helpful for my audience, I'll do it. It's kind of circling back to me being a hardworking media mogul in this podcast and in my dreams and in your dreams.
Well, that's kind of how it happens in like when you go see a like talk show or whatever. It tells you when to clap.
Yeah, they have the sign.
Why don't we do that at movies? I just want to be told, you know?
I think it would be helpful. I think we're getting there as a society.
Thank God.
We're getting more and more spoon-fed by the day. And now we put this out there to the Spotify AI. I'm sure Spotify will own AMC in 3 years, and then I'll be owned by BlackRock. And then finally, we can get what we want.
Because actually, secretly, we own BlackRock this whole time.
I'd like to go on the record and say that I'm normal. And if I own BlackRock, I would not be podcasting. I hate generally anti-billionaire, but whenever they try to be attention-seeking as well.
You're like, cause that's why you're like Nosferatu.
Relax.
You don't even want windows in your house.
No, I'm trying to be under the cover of night doing my deeds. Like, be normal.
Jeff Bezos, another bald man.
Yes, but he was being out there too much, like wearing that cowboy hat in space. But he's just been totally eclipsed by Elon Musk's ass.
And that must be tough for him.
Maybe. I think it's making me feel better towards him, even though in general I'm like not down. Because I'm like, at least he's not shaking his ass all over the internet.
It's crazy though, because like it used to be Zuck, right? And I feel like Zuck was actually at the beginning like kind of weirdly relatable to us because of the Social Network and all of that.
He wore a hoodie.
Press.
He's looking like shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he became a reptilian, and then now he's a fuckboy.
Now he's fuckboy swag. Elon Musk is a weird one because his dad is like an evil South African like mine owner.
Yeah.
And then he was born into that family. And his dad married his stepsister after the mom died.
Woody Allen style.
So obviously this guy's a freak. You know, he's been raised in a toxic environment.
He also was like, the baldness was coming for him and he rejected it.
Immature. Immature.
Yeah.
And it seems like something a not hot person would do.
Yeah. It's behind the times too, because 2025, he's going to regret that.
Because it's bald
It's
year.
bald
It's
year.
bald season, bitch.
And he's going to look like a fool in 2025.
More than he has previously.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just don't get it. If you're already evilly rich, why are you also attention seeking without taking the middle step of becoming hot? And I think Elon Musk particularly might argue that he did that.
Yeah.
But he did it in that disgusting way that's a straight man trying to become hot for other straight men.
Right. Instead of for the girlies.
Looking foolish.
Looking foolish. But I think everything he does is just for a specific type of guy. Like the Cybertruck.
And they are loving that.
Yeah.
That type of whoever that is. We were talking about this the other day that all Cybertrucks should have to have a sticker on the side that shows the owner's job and body count.
Body count is a good one.
I stand by that. Well, I also am like, what job do you have where you're like buying this car, you can afford this car, and people at your job aren't being like, ew, about it.
For the body count part, do you want like do you think there would be a pattern where if your body count is higher, you actually are less likely to have a Cybertruck? Or do you think there's a correlation?
My eyes are open and I'm ready. Yes. I'm pitching that the body count's going to be low.
Okay.
But if it's high, I'll take that data in and I'll think about it. I just want to know, what are these people's jobs? What are these people's body counts?
I also want to know body count increase post owning Cybertruck or decrease.
Sure.
Maybe their body count will go down somehow.
And you know, brings to mind, maybe we need to have a body count parentheses sexual and body count parentheses murder also on the Cybertruck. Just a pitch.
The Cybertruck is looking like it should give us data because it looks like a
Why is it
device.
so big?
Yeah.
Why is it so big if it's not?
It's transmitting information to us. Yeah.
Great point. Great point.
All right. Should I tell you what?
Tell me
what happens.
What happens in Nosferatu?
Warning. Now's the part of the episode where we at least kind of reveal what really happens. Spoilers ahead.
Ding! Nosferatu, a symphony of horror. One thing about
love that subtitle.
Nosferatu, I will say, is that it's not scary. Like, I think it has like good imagery now and then, but it just like doesn't work to a modern audience.
Okay. Do you think they're gonna fix that?
Yes.
In 2024?
Yes. I think they're gonna like make a concerted effort to be actually scary. And I'm not really sure what that's gonna look like. I think that's gonna involve changing the plot because low-key plot also not scary.
Okay, well tell me, what's the OG plot?
Okay. There's a fictional German town. There's a guy named Thomas Hutter who has to go to Transylvania to visit his new client. He works as an estate agent. So like his client.
Already bored.
Yes.
Magic Mike as fuck.
Exactly. His new client is Count Orlock, and who wants to invest in property in this German town. And he gets there. Everyone in the village is scared of it. This guy, Count Orlock, he goes to the castle. He meets Orlock while he's eating dinner. He accidentally cuts his thumb, and Orlock tries to suck the blood out.
Okay, giving sexual thriller.
Right, and he's already like, ugh. But then
how does dumbass cut his thumb during dinner?
I don't remember, but it's like boring and stupid.
Okay, and it's also sounding camp. It sounds like in the right hands, this could be a really camp and sexual moment.
But I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so then he, for some reason, decides to stay. He wakes up the next morning, and he has like puncture marks on his neck, and he's like, probably just a mosquito.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he also has a picture of his beautiful wife, Ellen, and Count Orlock sees it and is like, she has a lovely neck.
So far, this is sounding like the ending could be that situation where the guy you went on a date with is dating a girl who has a weird guy in the closet. They could just have a weird throuple dynamic is what I'm hearing. Okay.
It kind of is like that because then... So then Hutter kind of is like, oh shit, this guy is a vampire. and so he like tries to hide, but then Orlock arrives. He needs to like get out of there, you know what I'm saying? But
I'm stuck on in this one, I think actually Hutter and the wife should be played by the same person.
kind of.
That's what I would like to see.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that would be really good.
Thank you.
So then he tries to hide, and then Orlock comes.
He tries to hide in the guy's house.
Yes.
Silly.
He hides under the bed cover. The whole thing is silly. It's everyone just helplessly being like, not Nosferatu. And then Nosferatu like creeps up the stairs.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, he's coming. And
No,
like,
the way you're describing it, it literally sounds like the parts of a porn where they're not having sex.
Yeah.
Like the porn interstitial scenes.
Right. When they're literally waiting and waxing
and doing
their
terrible
butthole.
acting.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, my finger.
Yeah.
Suck it.
If only somebody would help me with this washing machine.
Or like, I'm stuck. The guy going hiding under the bed and then like, I'm stuck.
And then the title card pops up and it's like,
Hark. Hark. And then the other pop-up says, you're about to come.
Yeah.
Awesome. We should write this. Okay. So anyway.
So he comes in, but meanwhile, back in Germany,
Okay.
Ellen, the wife,
Yes.
she wakes up from her own bed and she starts sleepwalking.
I didn't even know that was a theme.
Yeah. And then she has like this doctor friend nearby. Probably fucking.
It's
Am I right?
yes.
Am I right?
Wow.
And he arrives and then she's like, no, my husband, and like passes out and like just knows that Nosferatu's like at it.
Wow, because they're 2-body 1-soul style relationship.
I guess
Wow.
so, but she's also maybe fucking this doctor guy. Who knows?
If you and your husband are 2 bodies and 1 soul, I think that's fine.
That's like actually the best recipe for an open relationship.
yeah, 'cause
like
it's fine.
maybe if I find a husband with whom I'm 2 bodies 1 soul, I will finally
You'd
be
open
like
it up.
completely okay with polygamy.
Poly stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, polygamy specifically is Mormon style, where he has many wives.
Cool.
You'd be fine with that even.
Because I'd be like, we're 2 bodies 1 soul. It doesn't even
These
matter.
are all my wives. It doesn't matter. All right. A lot to be learned from Nosferatu 2022. Or not, when is this?
1922.
Ah!
I know.
Also, why is this movie not coming out 2 years ago for the 100th anniversary?
They couldn't get it together.
Pitiful. Guys, come on.
I think it was delayed because of COVID or something.
Don't let that stop you. Pathetic. All right.
Nosferatu wouldn't let it stop him.
No.
And you know that.
I do know that.
Okay. Anyway, so then Hutter, dumbass, still in the castle. He is like looking around. He finds the coffin, and Nosferatu's like asleep in the coffin.
Buddy, get out of the castle if you're not into this situation.
No, he's still.
He's into it.
He's definitely into the
He's
situation.
like into the situation. All right. So he goes he creeps up to Nosferatu's bedroom.
And then Nosferatu's sleeping honk shoe style.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, scary. Oh, scary. He's sleeping.
Then leave, Hutter. Freak. Okay. So then what?
So then hours later, it says, I don't know what Hutter's doing in these hours.
Watching him sleep.
That's the thing about this movie. It's like kind of random and like nothing really pays off. And it's
That's
like,
silent movie core too, though.
Yeah.
It's like because you can jump around because of the cue card can say hours later.
Yeah.
He's still staring at him in the coffin.
Yeah.
The old timey audience doesn't care. They're drinking Coke with cocaine in it. They're like partying. They don't mind. Yeah.
Plus, this movie was deleted out of existence. Remember?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then we had to get remade.
They threw it in the freaking trash.
And then whoever pulled it out of the trash and called Lily Rose Depp up. Okay. All right. I mean, so far movie's sounding boring. I'll be honest.
It is boring. But like there's like a couple images where like, oh, that's good. Like, you know the image of Nosferatu creeping up the stairs? Like
Slay.
if I show it to you, you'll be like,
no,
yeah.
I've seen that as a GIF that's been used and maintained its artistic value even in modern culture.
Exactly.
Also, the way Nosferatu looks awesome.
Like look at him in this picture over here. He's
Big
just standing
hands.
there. Big cock.
Big long nails.
So
Gorgeous.
He's like the alien from Alien.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, what
gorgeous
a specimen.
being. What a specimen.
This is a being that's superior to our own species. And you can just tell.
Okay, I don't know about that.
He's been created for peak performance.
I feel like Hutter thinks that. And that's what Hutter's doing when he looks in the coffin, is being like, what a specimen.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's the specimen do? Wake up?
So then hours later, he piles up coffins on a coach, and then
Who does that?
Nosferatu. And
What?
then he leaves. He puts a bunch of coffins in a carriage and just books it
Is
out
that
of
his
there.
family? Is his family in the coffins?
I think
or is it
that's-
like
I
he's
think
giving
he's
mattress
moving.
salesman?
He's moving.
He's just moving.
He's moving.
Okay.
And then
So Hutter didn't close the deal.
No,
either.
and he like rushes home. The coffins get on a schooner. There's rats in the coffins.
What the hell?
So
A bunch?
a bunch of
Or
rats.
like just a normal amount of rats.
A lot of rats. There's a lot of rats in
Okay.
the schooner. And then all the crewmen die. So
Okay.
now there's like a ship full of like coffins and rats
I
and
can't believe
Nosferatu.
international waters are involved in this.
Yeah, well, he has to
That's
go to Germany from
crazy.
Transylvania.
Oh, duh. And there's an ocean in between them? All right, anyway.
That's actually geographically doesn't make
That's what
much
I'm saying. And I
sense.
don't even know about geography because I'm
Maybe
a physicist.
I think he probably goes down the Danube River.
Okay, I like him riverboating. Anyway, that's a different vibe.
But yeah, so he gets to the German village with all the rats causing a plague. And then and then many deaths in the town follow.
Okay.
And then meanwhile, Ellen, who's still around, is reading like this vampire book. And it says that a vampire can be defeated. This is important.
Okay.
If a pure-hearted woman distracts the vampire with her beauty and offers him her blood of her own free will.
Okay.
So she's like,
That's me.
that's what I
Me,
have to do.
a beautiful, pure-hearted woman.
Yes.
That's funny. That's funny for like anyone to be like, this is calling for someone beautiful and pure-hearted. Good thing I'm here.
Yeah. So
Okay, love Ellen.
so she takes
Love
it
her
upon
confidence.
herself
Yes.
to just lie in bed in her like nightgown with the window open.
And she's like, if you build it, he will come.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna lay here and this sicko's coming. I know it.
I'm trying to
She's
have
so confident.
I'm trying to have this energy.
She's a girl boss.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like, I'm just gonna be around in my nightgown, and if someone wants to climb in through my window,
They will.
they will.
And then I'm gonna murder them. Cool. Okay.
So Nosferatu kind of falls in, and then he drinks her blood, but then the sun rises because he's loving it so much he doesn't
Okay.
even notice.
Yeah.
And then he vanishes in a puff of smoke, and then Ellen lives just long enough to be embraced by her husband, and then she dies.
That's sad that she died. She should live.
There was like no reason for her to die, but I guess she has to sacrifice herself. But then it's confusing because like what really killed him was the sun, not her sacrifice, right?
Right. But maybe they were just writing it in a way that's like clean, you know? But the reality of the situation is if you're trying to murder Dracula, you got to keep him up till the sun rises. You know what I mean? And then Mary Ellen was like, I'm the one for the job, which is a slay.
And that's basically kind of where I want this movie to go.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Because already from the trailer, it seems like it's way more focused on her than the original movie
Thank
is.
God.
Yes.
And from the scene you just described, it sounds like it's giving Lily Rose Depp's The Idol smash hit. I'm a freak,
Yeah.
You know I want it back.
Because I think there's inherently something horny about being haunted in your dreams
And leaning in.
and leaning
To
in.
that,
And then
yeah.
at some point being like, I guess I just have to do it.
Right. That's a classic sort of fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I, for a long time, couldn't wrap my head around why people have rape fantasies because I was like, that's disgusting. How can that be? But it's because in our puritanical society, you're not allowed to want sex.
Yeah.
So then people idealize that because you're like, I didn't even make any choices for this to happen.
Well, yeah. And that's why there's the emphasis on her being like pure-hearted.
Right.
She's giving herself to another man, but it's for her town.
And she is giving, and it's because of patriotism.
Yeah.
Yeah. So clearly,
Yes.
this is a narrative that came to be in a cis hetero patriarchal society. You know?
I think there's like a very clear reading in that, like, because in the original Dracula 2, he has like women that he's turned into
Yes.
vampires who are being sexy.
and
like,
they're into it.
They're like, it's a lot sexier than I expected for a book of that era.
Okay,
actually.
wow.
Yeah, like there's a scene where they like all the female vampires like come into like his name isn't Harder. I think it's Harker.
Yes.
Jonathan Harker. They come into his room and they're like, and he's
Nice.
like, no, I have a wife. So it's like
Cool.
horny.
Okay.
And I think this movie has to be horny, but it also has to be actually scary.
I agree.
So
I would make the argument that I feel like becoming a vampire, even via Dracula, is like female empowerment.
yeah.
Because that's the whole problem is as a woman, you're like, it'd be harder for me to kill all these MFs than it would be for these MFs to kill me. But once you're a vampire, that's out of the equation.
Also, you
can
get
be
to
slutting it up around town.
exactly. You get to be sexual after you're a vampire.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer
Because you're not
pure.
vulnerable. Well, also, you're not as vulnerable to society.
True. You're finally the predator.
Go off, sis.
Go off, sis.
Anyway, so yeah, okay. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Lily Rose Depp, Predator. That's exactly what I want to see.
And I think like, because in the trailer, it really just shows her like having these dreams and like seeing his like creeping hand or
Wearing that
whatever.
nightgown, yeah.
Wearing that nightgown. And I don't really care what the husband's up to.
I assume that's Nicholas Hoult still.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is Nicholas Hoult still.
And he has good, like, bi husband and a throuple vibes.
yeah.
I think there could be something there.
But I just don't want it to end with her like sacrificing herself, unless it's like, I at least want her to have an orgasm
Right, but see, then we're running into the poor things problem again.
of a man.
Where this is some guy
Yeah.
who made the movie. And so then you're like, this is sick shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also how people received The Idol, starring Queen Lily Rose Depp, because it was creatively directed by the Euphoria pervert and The Weeknd.
Mm-hmm. Another pervert.
Basically, yeah. I think this should be directed by the weird woman who directed the first Twilight.
Yes.
And it
This
should
would be
still
perfect
star
for
Lily
her.
Rose Depp.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all the way on board.
Or Sophia Coppola.
Yeah, she could do it too. Name a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Greta Gerwig.
Well, that's kind of what
We don't even have any gay male directors these days, do we?
no,
We should start a charity for that.
except Ryan Murphy, but he doesn't. do
He
movies.
is just okay. I mean, if it was at least Ryan Murphy,
Yeah.
I could be more okay with fucked up stuff.
Well, I also think Robert Eggers, the director guy.
Wait, is he the Vitch? He did the Vitch.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but he also did The Lighthouse, which is like male horniness.
It is. But between those two, actually,
Maybe
I'm
he
like,
can do this.
Maybe Robert Eggers' girl. Maybe this is allowed. We'll see. I famously, after Poor Things came out of the theater, and who directed that one?
It's fucking Yorgos.
Yorgos. I came out of that one and was like, Yorgos needs to come out as a trans woman instantly.
Yeah.
Like this second.
Yeah.
Because if she did that, it would feel a lot more different
Mhm.
than man identifying Yorgos like the most doing it.
Right.
I could come out of the theater and be like, Robert Eggers, girl.
yeah. Well, what
and
I'm
maybe be okay with it.
honestly, what I'm more afraid of than like the female sexuality angle
Mm-hmm.
is that they try to like make her like take down Nosferatu in like a female empowerment way that would just feel
But it's like too much.
yeah,
Clearly,
like she turns into Buffy.
the Twilight director needs to get her hands on
Yeah.
this. Catherine Hardwicke, I believe.
Mhm.
Which also, Catherine, if you're listening, please come on the pod. I might email you separately, but please come on the pod.
That movie is incredible.
She needs to be in charge of
the
this.
vibiest movie of all time.
And it actually has the male bureaucracy thing, but it's like teen girl bureaucracy because there's too much of her like being in high school.
Yeah.
And like they have to go to the administrator to ask for schedule changes.
Right. And it's like, and then the weird boys are like holding up a frog and being like, Bella, look.
And she's being like, mitosis. it gets into the nitty gritty stuff of life.
There's science.
There's science in Twilight. Don't forget.
I like that part the best because Bella seems actually like annoyed every time Edward talks to her because she's dealing with all this
and
teen
he's being
bullshit.
weird as fuck.
Yeah, he keeps coming up to her and being like, "We can't talk anymore," and she's like, "You're talking to me right now."
Which is kind of the dream, but also like not if he's acting like that.
No,
I did forget how intense and weird he's being
yeah
in the first part of Twilight. But that's what I want to see from Nosferatu 2025.
I also don't even want to see
Whatever.
Nosferatu until the riveting sex scene.
Oh.
I just want to see like a shadow with pointy ears, a creepy hand opening a door,
okay,
like,
hints.
his tight little ass,
And then they're getting it on.
yeah.
Okay, wow. I bet it is tight. I'll say that
Yeah.
about Nosferatu. Feel like keeping it tight. All that
Mhm.
sitting like with your knees up looking
Yeah.
creepy.
Perma squat.
That's gonna the hamstrings are working.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that. Okay. How do you think it's gonna get received?
I think like amazing reviews,
Okay.
but I'm worried that I'm gonna think it's really boring.
I'm rooting for opposite,
Oh,
where because this we talked about this last episode. Sometimes this happens for me. Critics and the general public hate it, and I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
I was like that with Don't Worry, Darling. I'm hoping to be like that with Megalopolis, and I'm hoping to be like that with Nosferatu.
Okay.
I want it to be a weird, boring, creepy movie made just for me.
Aww.
So,
well, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
I am too. We're going actually later today because it's out now, and we famously gave up Christmas with our families to record this podcast.
They're
for
crying.
you. Oh my God, they're crying.
They're literally standing outside, all of them.
We can see them actually. They're over there on the video.
They're crying. They're beating their chests.
They're banging on the window. It's so sad.
Oh well,
It's all for you.
it's for you
Everything
guys.
we do.
I miss my hair.
I miss my family. Just in case you didn't know, we're joking. We're okay.
We're fine.
We're fine.
We're fine.
So I just want to wrap up with my prediction, which is
Okay.
that I was walking around saying this after I watched 1.5 episodes of The Idol last year.
Mm-hmm.
Lily Rose Depp is going to win an Oscar. And I think this is at least a stepping stone to get her there. I think it's going to be, I don't think it'll be for this, but I think the little gold man will be handed to her, and she's going to deserve it. Also on The Idol, everyone was like, this is the most fucked up thing I was ever seen or whatever. I felt exactly the same way we've been talking about, where sure, it was like fucked up, but I was like, A, this should just be directed by a woman.
Yeah.
And then it's cool and awesome. And then B, usually when they try to make a show that's about like a guy being fucked up to a woman in this day and age, they at least have the respect to make the guy hot. Like in the movie You, or in the show You,
Yeah.
where the whole thing is they're like, this is showing you that when a guy treats you like Edward from Twilight, even if he's hot, he can be a sicko pervert predator.
And it still didn't work because a lot of people are still like, he's so hot.
Well, because you're also like, LOL, you. Like,
Yeah,
it's just a TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the thing.
Plus
We don't always need to be learning something from a TV show.
No. Yeah.
But what I learned from The Idol is A, this should have been done by a woman, B, Lily Rose Depp Oscar winner, and C, The Weeknd is not hot enough to play that part.
No.
I turned it off not because I was generally offended, but because I was like, why isn't The Weeknd being played by Jason Derulo, who's sort of The Weeknd for girls or something, you know?
Okay.
I had a
That's an
roommate
interesting one.
who, she had a boyfriend who loved The Weeknd, and it was right after Talk Dirty to Me by Jason Derulo came out and changed lives forever. And one time I was in the car with both of them, and she was like, boyfriend, Jason Derulo or The Weeknd? He picked The Weeknd. And she's like, The Weeknd's for men. Then she said, Sam, The Weeknd or Jason Derulo? I said, Jason Derulo every time. He's cute and fun. He's smiling.
Yeah.
He's for the girlies.
Right.
So
Every guy or every giant Weeknd fan I've ever met has been a man.
I don't know if I've ever met a girl who's just out of nowhere been like, you know who I'm loving?
Yeah.
The Weeknd.
Right. It's like the same thing of like people who are hot, but like men who men think are hot.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And meanwhile, Jason Derulo
Is out here being slept on by
the straight men community and thriving in the hearts of the girls and the gays.
Right.
So
I also want to say, like, kind of with what you were saying about being men or men preying on women, the new movie Baby Girl, I feel
that's
like
coming out maybe today too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's like, because that guy isn't like super hot or anything.
I'm into him from Triangle of Sadness. I liked him.
I don't not like him, but he's not like so hot.
Well, I think he's hot in a way that's like a real actor, if that makes sense. Like he kind of looks like a regular guy enough to where I'm also like, maybe an Oscar for this guy.
Okay.
I think he has staying power in the movies because he's not so hot.
It's kind of like a slightly weird looking like the bear guy.
Right. Like we can take him seriously as an actor, but he's hot.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that guy.
Cool. But anyway, I think that also works, that dynamic, because it's Nicole Kidman, who is like a force of nature kind of.
Totally.
Which, like, I'm not saying Lily Rose Depp isn't that, but I think she's like hot and skinny first. You
Well,
know?
I'm seeing that one being famously, spoilers on The Idol, which I didn't finish because The Weeknd not hot to me. at the end, it's revealed that it's a flip and she's been the one manipulating him the whole time.
That doesn't even make sense.
That's my happenstance on Baby Girl. I think it does. Watch the first 1.5 episodes. You'll get it.
Okay.
Pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. But I think Baby Girl's going to be like that, where it's like, we're being like, oh my God, this young guy is taking advantage of Nicole Kidman. And then at the end, we learn like she's been paying him to do that the whole time.
Okay.
And when she's done with him, like sends him back to Ohio.
I am kind of worried about what this is going to do for society.
Which thing?
Baby Girl. Because I think a lot of people are going to be so into this.
I think it could be me. I'm
going to be like
see that one too.
kink number 1 in the new year. And maybe that's my prediction.
Is the kink number 1 in the new year is being Baby Girl?
Is being Baby Girl.
But is it in the scenario where you're being Baby Girl, but actually you're an older, more powerful woman and you're just making a guy treat you nice?
No,
or
I
is
think
it
it's
like
just
the regular style.
You just want to get treated like shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sad.
I know.
Well, mine's also dark. Well, first prediction was Lily Rose Depp gets an Oscar. Not dark to me.
No.
I support that.
Natural
Second
progression of society.
Sadly,
really.
since Donald Trump became president-elect, I'm like trying to not really talk about it on the podcast because I want this podcast to be a safe space for our 35-year-old male adult listeners to not have to think about that for once in the week.
Yeah, protect their feelings.
Based on the conversation we just had, I'm scared The Weeknd might get put in the cabinet.
Whoa.
It would be a natural fit.
But he can't do that without putting Kanye in there.
I think he can because I think The Weeknd's actually less problematic of a choice.
Well, no, I know, but Kanye's his number 1.
Are they like that?
They were like that for a while.
I didn't even
Kanye
remember
and
that.
Trump and Kanye. It's
Well,
like,
it feels like they fell off.
where's that story? Why don't we hear more about that?
I don't want to hear about that.
I do.
I don't. Unless it's directed by a woman and is all about longing
Catherine
gazes
Hardwicke.
and laying in the
Hardwicke,
grass.
Please
and
make
has
the
no
Kanye Trump movie.
bureaucracy and is all about being erotic. Yeah. All right.
Wait,
well,
I had one more prediction.
Oh, get in there.
I think the first news story of 2025
Oh my
is going to
God.
be insane. Like, do you remember that one year where it was Hollyweed? And that was the first
Yeah.
story?
That was a good one.
That was a good one. And then one year was it Notre Dame being on fire? Was that the first one?
Totally.
I think whatever it is, it's going to be like an oh my God moment.
Okay.
And I hope it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's that, I don't know, somehow the ocean got dyed rainbow or something. And we're like, oh my God, gay year. I don't know.
I feel like it's going to be more like accidentally some sort of government documents that are like really... I think it's going to be like accidentally some government documents either involving China or Russia are going to be put on the Las Vegas sphere.
Whoa!
And there's going to be a lot of blame thrown around. And it's going to be like, how did this happen? But it's going to happen.
I want it to be like there's a hot air balloon publicity stunt that went awry.
And Timothée Chalamet is lost.
Hot air balloon.
He's floating across the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
And someone, if we're going to save him, someone's going to have to shoot it down. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, whatever it is, it's going to be wild.
Some BoJack Horseman type shit.
Yes.
2025.
Hollyweed.
The year of bald.
The year of balds.
Thanks everyone for listening.
And we'll be back. We're taking a brief break.
A hiatus. Until March. And then we'll be back with season 3. Yeah, that's right. Season 3 of Happenstance Pod. In the meantime, if you like this episode, tell a friend. Send them a link. Comment why. If you see Nosferatu and or Baby Girl, reach out and tell us how you felt about that.
Right.
You know what our channels are.
Yeah.
We
subscribe on
engage.
YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Don't follow us home.
Amen. Or anybody who doesn't consent to that.
But if the window's open.
And if they're open to you like living in their closet, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
You're allowed. I've been Sam.
I'm Jyotsna.
Happy New Year!